Hello everyone. In this tutorial we're going to discuss how you can add equations in your manuscripts using Microsoft Word with automatic equation numbers that you can change automatically as you're revising or going through edits for your documents. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to add a table that will hold the equation. So this table can be added from insert table, and we can do a 1 row 3 column table. So I'm going to add this table, and we see that everything is showing here, so we can see all the borders, but we don't want to see them. So I'm going to click on this all way arrow. It shows that my table is selected. Then I go back to Home tab, and from this menu I click No Borders. And you see that the borders are changed to dashed lines now, meaning that they are invisible. The reason I'm seeing them is because I already have the View Grid Lines option checked on. By default in Word, this is checked off. So if I click on it to put it as off, you see that they are not visible anymore. But while I'm editing my document, I want to see it. But when I print it, I don't want to see it. So I put it as invisible border lines, but show me the grid line. So this is how it will look. Then I'm going to resize the left and right column so it gives me more space for the middle column to insert my equations. Then I go to Insert and add an equation, and I call it x plus y equals z. So from this, I have an equation that is placed in a table that I'm using as a placeholder for my equations. Now I need to add an equation number. So for the equation number, what I need to do is I'm going to add a sequence list that will be automatically updating as I'm editing my document. To do that, I'm going to put the cursor in the cell of the table that I want to have my equation number, and then on the keyboard I'm going to press Ctrl F9. As you can see, it will create a new object that is now highlighted with a gray color, and it has two curly brackets. So in this curly bracket, I can write certain commands, but for what we need, which is a sequence list, I'm going to add seq, which is the identifier for sequence list, and then I need to give it a name. So I'm going to call this EqList. So this will be the name of the sequence list that will hold all the equation numbers for me. After I do that, on keyboard I press F9. To the number that you see. If it is not updated, you can just go to your print preview either by clicking on the print preview button from the file menu or print menu, or you can just press Ctrl and P on your keyboard to go to the print preview. And additionally, usually I have the equation numbers in parentheses. So I'm going to put 2 parentheses around this. And then I'm going to align it to right, so it is properly aligned. And now I have an equation with an equation number. Now I'm going to write some text. This is my sample text, and I need an equation here, which is equation. So I need to add an equation here. What I need to add for equation is the text that is representing that equation number. So what I need to do when I'm adding the equation numbers like this is I need to highlight that equation number, then go to Insert, and then add a bookmark for that equation. I want to start the equation bookmark names with EQ underscore, and then I say number 1, and add this equation or bookmark for this equation. Now, when I want to cite that in my text or refer to it in the text that I've written, I need to go to cross-reference, put the cursor where I need to insert it, go to cross-reference, go to bookmark, select that bookmark that I just created, and keep this item as bookmark text. And then I say insert. As you see that number 1 is now added here, and if I click on it, you see that it is highlighted in gray, meaning that it is an active field that is going to be updated. Now to see how this will update, I'm going to copy that table that I created with my first equation and paste it. So now I have 3 equations. You see that the numbers are not updating. As I said earlier, if you want them to be updated every time you go to print preview, you can do that. So I can press Control P, go to print preview, and you see all my numbers are updated. Now, let's say I move the first equation to the end of this set of equations. So I'm going to cut this equation and then paste it at the end. Now you see the numbers are 2, 3, 1. In the text, it is now still 1, but this number should be 3 and this number should be 3. So once I update this, what will happen is this will change to 3, this will change to 1, this will change to 2, and this text, because it is now linked to this text, should also be changing or updating to 3. So I'm going to again press Control P to go to print preview, and when I go back, you see that the numbers are updated and the equation number reference that I had in my text is also properly updated. So this is a great way to automatically add equation numbers to your documents, especially if you're writing manuscripts or academic reports. Another thing I want to mention here is it is good practice if you create certain styles for your equations and equation numbers, because as you will be changing these from one manuscript style to another manuscript style, you probably need to update those as well. So to do that, I'm going to select one of these equations. I go to Home tab, and I want to create a new style here and call it an equation. So I'm going to click on this button and then create style. I call this a style equation, click OK, and now you see that there's a new style called equation. Now what I can do with this is I can apply the equation, a style, to all my equations. And do the same thing for equation numbers, but make a new style for my equation numbers. So I'm going to create a new style. Equation number, OK, and apply it to all my equation numbers. Next, let's say I want to change all the equations to be a little bit bigger. So I can go here, right click on the equation, click on modify, and then say I want a bigger font. So I want it to be 14 instead of 11. Click OK. You see that all my equations are now automatically updated. Now for my equation numbers, let's say I want them to be in bold. And instead of being right aligned, I want them to be center aligned. And then once I click OK after updating the equation number style, you see that all of them are updated without me having to do it manually in each one of them. So this basically helps with automatically numbering your equations, putting them in tables that can be used for styling and formatting, and then citing them or referring to them in your text using the bookmark option.